imagine if Super Subs was next door to this store? You know what steak and cheese would be? Fat chickens. Or, steak and cheese. Oh, they're like, I think it's a Smoke and Joe. I think it's pastrami, steak and cheese together. Then they do like a pastrami, steak and cheese, pepperoni together. They do. Yeah, they've just got all these specialty subs. They're freaking awesome. The specialty pizzas. I think if Super Subs brought a place to Haverhill, they'd be the busiest pizza shop in Haverhill. They'd go right from new to the busiest pizza shop in Haverhill. They're the only ones that give Romano's competition in Salem, New Hampshire. I mean, the Romano's in Salem, New Hampshire is like one of the busiest stores in the world. It seems like. I mean, they are packed. They're busy all the time.
I didn't know they had another one.
What's that?
I didn't know they had another one.
It's Romano's. They're no relation. There's a Romano. There's also Romano's in Methuen, but they're all just individually owned. They're not. There's no. They just have a Romano's name. A lot of them know each other though. But yeah, the Romano's in Salem is probably the busiest place in Salem. Take 3 other pizza shops, and they're not as busy together, and they're not as busy as that Romano's. And Super Subs is right up there. Those are the 2 biggest competitors.
Are they on the north side?
They're
Romano's?
They're on 90. They're actually on 97. You're on 97 before you cross over into
Methuen?
Oh no, they're up. Yeah, they're up on 97 here in going up this. They're on north. Yeah, I suppose you could call it the northern part of Salem.
Yeah, because Super Subs is on the same side.
Yeah, Super Subs is Super Subs. You've been to Super Subs, right?
I know where it is.
Well, when you go up 97, you take the left to go down Super Subs. Keep on going straight, and it's on your left hand side. I mean, they're about 2 miles from each other. Right,
so they're on the north side, so all the neighborhoods.
Yep.
More the neighborhoods, more than the industrial.
And
parks.
they're right on Route 20. They're before Route 28, next to the fire station.
Yep. I know exactly where they are.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, they're pretty. They're pretty big. And then when Super Subs opened up there, they became the biggest competitor. Super Subs is packed, is busy all the time too. But again, they do all these specialty pizzas and specialty subs that you don't have to, or if you even fish and stuff too. I mean, they've got a very, very wide for a pizza shop, a very, very big menu. But yeah, those guys, the family that owns it is great. They own all the other supers. Well, they'll build up one and then they'll sell it and they'll build up another. But this one's owned by their son. So they built that one up, and they're building I think they just built one in Londonderry and they sold that one. I think they're doing one in Derry now too, I believe. Or he did one in Tewksbury, and the one in Lowell, the one in Pelham, they sold. And so there's a bunch of them, but. Yeah, the Super family, or it could be Suppa. I don't know. It's SUPPA, but I think it's Super, because the logo is like a Superman. It's almost like a Superman logo for their advertising and stuff. So, but yeah, that place. If there was one in Haverhill, I think it would overtake every shop in Haverhill.
Trying to get those now is like. Good luck and bust out your credit card. But then they did the Netflix Daredevil suit, and that one was pretty good. I've got that one
like
too.
Hot Toys or something, or like
Hot Toys.
This is Mezco, the 112 collection.
So that's like a $200. I think that's like a $250 figure. Ooh. But a lot of them run over $100 and something bucks a piece now. Like new.
Oh, yeah. No, they're usually like $80 to $150 new.
Yep.
And at this point, they've caught on enough that. Like most of their new releases, you have to pre-order, and there's a good chance it'll get canceled before it ever comes out.
That's whack.
Like there's some of them are hard to get, but it depends on what it is because they produce a lot more of some than others.
Yeah. Didn't they just come out with like an X-Men Mezco line or something like that?
They've put out a bunch of
they've got all Marvel, DC. I mean, they've done horror,
everything. They've even got some originals that like some of their own characters that they put out.
Like I was like thinking about like because didn't they have like the Wolverine figure with like the '90s meme or whatever? He's looking at the photo or something like that.
I can't remember if that was theirs or if that was someone else's.
My buddy Mark buys like all the Marvel ones.
Yeah.
And he used to buy all the DC ones. Now he just buys a few that he likes. Cause,
I know one of the last ones that was a big deal, they did a Michael Keaton Batman one that sold huge. That was one of their biggest releases for a while.
This was ordered in 2021. It was ordered.
Well, that's the other thing. Is they'll announce something, they'll show it off, and they'll open pre-orders for it. It might be 3 years before they actually produce it and get it out the door.
So even like through Diamond, our comic distributor, buying it, it's like it says, 2021. It was solicited for us to buy it. It just came out this week. It's 2 years old. I mean, we ordered it 2 years ago.
Though, like cancel on you.
I mean, that's
I'd rather it be. I'm not as worried about it being canceled. Let it be canceled. I'm worried about the guy that ordered it doesn't come to your store anymore. Or stop collecting or whatever. You're stuck with it. I mean, it's not like it, because when we order through the distributor, it's not like we could say, "Hey, we don't want it anymore." You ordered it. It comes in. You own it. And that's the way it is. So
trying to sell it to someone for 200 fucking.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you make it someone that that's really cool. I'll buy it. Or you may. You may mark it down and say, "Look, I go get stiff with this. This is what it costs. Just let me make a few bucks." And so it's like, "Hey, at that price, it's worth me. It's worth me buying it. I'm willing to. I didn't plan on ever coming in and buying one of these things, but for that, okay, that could be worth it." But
a lot of them are you can still find pretty reasonable. It's just some of the rarer ones or the older ones before they really caught on.
Yeah, like the early Punisher one, I think is going for big money now too. I mean,
like I said, like the old Daredevil ones, I saw it like 300 or something at one point. I was like, no.
They got a Ben Affleck Daredevil.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they would. They weren't around that time.
Based on that movie?
I sure hope not. I sure hope not.
If they had just left Jennifer Garner out of it, it wouldn't have been that bad. It was like the worst casting choice in history.
Yeah.
She looked good.
Yeah, she did.
Tell me. You want the truth?
Absolutely.
She's hideous.
Not as Elektra.
True. It just looked good. That was, it's.
Colin Farrell was so good in that movie, though. I loved him.
He really was,
Bullseye.
And I liked the Kingpin too.
Yeah. He was so Michael.
Well, I mean, that was one of those. Just like, I mean, it was an even worse movie, arguably. But like the Green Lantern movie, the things that they got right were like, this is awesome, and then the rest of it was such crap. You were just embarrassed to be watching it.
Yeah, I still haven't even seen that movie, but
I think I'm good on watching
Green Lantern.
Yeah, Green Lantern.
We'll all suffer through it. Why can't you?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Shit, I'm gonna put it on when I get home now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. If we have to suffer through it, why can't anyone else?
I haven't seen Justice League either, the original one.
Yeah, it's funny because like those are my two guys. Green Lantern and Daredevil are my guys, and of course when they finally get there, they put out two of the worst comic movies in history.
At least you got to see a good TV series.
Yeah, I was gonna say Charlie Cox Daredevil.
Yeah,
dude.
I was actually.
Do you believe in the devil, Father?
Just rewatching that recently because I had only watched the whole thing through once, I think, as it came out.
At least you got some good. And I don't even know if it's Daredevil that made me really like it. To me, it was more Punisher and the Kingpin that made me actually like it more than what it was.
That definitely sold it. It bugs me that he doesn't suit up until like the end of the first season, and then spends part of season 2 in the suit, and then that's it. Like no suit for the rest of it. Like.
Even season 3, he didn't even have the suit.
No, that's it. And like the black suit with the mask, it's fine. But like when you first see him in the suit, you're like, hell yeah! And then they take it away from him.
I think one of his best performances was in the second to last episode of She-Hulk.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that was great. Dude, that was great. I was really excited about that.
That was probably the best episode of the whole season too. Of She-Hulk too.
And I didn't mind that show.
I didn't mind that show.
No, I liked it.
It.
The people who were really hating on it have clearly never read a She-Hulk comic and wouldn't enjoy it if they did. If you do, like, that's the tone of it. That's the attitude.
I don't like the She-Hulk comic, but I like that sort of stuff. I like that sort of stuff live action than reading the silliness of it. It's but so when I watched it, I warned my wife.
Exactly as ridiculous as it should have been.
I go, honey, this show is going to probably be ridiculous, and she was really. I go, if they keep it to the comic. She's gonna be talking to you. She's gonna break the fourth wall.
This guy's really kind of doing it for me.
And they did everything of it. And I says, "Well, you know something?
Up front, it was a comedy.
Right.
Which is what you should have been expecting anyway. If you're somebody who has an interest in it to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite She-Hulk stuff was Savage She-Hulk, the one from the 70s.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
that was
I mean,
the
that's
original stuff. Right?
That was the original stuff, yeah. The goofy She-Hulk just wasn't for me. When she was in like Avengers and stuff, I was okay with her in Avengers and stuff. But
she was good in Fantastic Four too. I've heard. Was that
you
John
know,
Byrne?
you know something?
or something?
You know something? I'm gonna get flack for this, but I think that John Byrne one was so overrated. I was pricing up some Fantastic Four stuff recently, some of the John Byrne stuff with her in it and shit. She's almost the same in that as she is in his
Yeah,
and his
he's the one that made her
right
breaking.
And I go, I don't need this crap for Fantastic Four. You know,
But I loved that too. But I was 12 when I was reading it.
Right,
it was coming out. So I mean, there's a little bit of bias there. I imagine, I still love those books, but if I sit down and read them today, I'd have a little more critical eye. I hope.
Well, it's funny because when you were reading them, that's the point. I wasn't in comics.
Yeah.
You know, that was probably during my high school times, and I wasn't reading comics at that time.
That was like 88, 89.
All right, so I was just out of high school, but yeah, I still wasn't reading comics at that time. So then I come back in, I start reading FF again, and then I'm putting runs together. Says I'm gonna. And they were talking about the John Byrne run, so I went and bought a stack of it, and I just found myself I just couldn't read it.
Like this is shit.
It wasn't all shit, but overall, if I never read it, I don't think to me I never missed anything. Because it just became kind of goofy Fantastic Four, but only when it was her stuff, It's
everyone praises that run.
Yeah,
I've never read it myself.
It looks good. It's not. I mean, it's not. It looks good. It's not a bad run. People like it, but I think people once read it. They have that nostalgia for it, and it was like, oh man, yeah, I really like that. And maybe they haven't gone back and never read it again. It's that's just what they like, and that's great, But I don't. That's not a run that I would want to read. But I've read some of it. Even again, I find myself when I'm pricing up comics.
Yeah.
I'll end up reading 2 or 3 on a night of just old stuff. And there was one that was the whole book, pretty much 3/4 of the book was She-Hulk. And it was a Fantastic Four book though. And she was sunbathing on a roof, and they try to take a picture, and she goes berserk and she does her thing and stuff. And I go, I would have been pissed if I bought this book as one of my monthly books that I could pick up for Fantastic Four, or as a kid where you've got $2 to buy a couple comic books, and you spent your 60 cents on that book, where there was others that you didn't do, and that's what you got, And that's what I'm thinking at that time, because I remember when books went up to 35 cents. I used to have $1. I used to get 3 books at 30 cents a piece, and I'd either save my 10 cents over a period of 3 weeks so I can get another comic, or I'd buy a pack of baseball cards for 10 cents, right? Then when it went to 35 cents, shit, I got to find another nickel every week now. I had $1, It's right. I got to find another nickel. What am I going to do? I mean, at that time, I couldn't just go pick up a couple cans and turn them in. There wasn't a deposit bill, It's you had to pick up a ton of cans and bring them down to the junkyard for aluminum to get a nickel, It's So it wasn't like I could just walk down the street, got my nickel.
For as much as we look at with nostalgic affection at the spinner rack, that was always the curse too, because the closest thing I could ride my bike to a grocery store that had the spinner rack, but they didn't get new stuff in every week. So you already picked up whatever, you got $1 burning a hole in your pocket, and you go down there and you're like, I bought some of the most crap comics ever published by man, just because I've got 75 cents that I found, I gotta get something.
You weren't going to the right spinner rack, all right? McGee's over in Bradford.
That was the one that was close enough for me to ride my bike to when I was
Bradford, always,
that age.
Every Tuesday, their comics, all the magazines, whatever, Playboy and all that shit, they showed up every Tuesday. And there was always, every Tuesday, there was a delivery of comics. And I remember, because I used to go in after school, and again, they were comics. Nobody cared that they weren't even out on the shelf yet. And I used to ask, hey, can I open up this box of comics? Sure. I'll even put them up on the rack for you. Oh, that'd be great. And then I go, good. I got my Spider-Man. I got this, and I'm looking like, well, I can only buy 3. There's 7 I want here. This sucks. And let's hope over the weekend I've scrounged up some more money, or I did a couple extra chores, or for someone around the neighborhood. Whether it was, I don't care if I had to pick up the dog shit. It was. Maybe they'll still be. Sometimes they weren't. Sometimes they were. It's
That's so cool.
Yeah.
How like it used to be. It's like you guys are like comic book mercenaries, like doing like small jobs for every nickel.
To get what you could. I mean,
that's cool as fuck.
By the time I started, 75 cents was the low end, and I think $1.50 was the high end.
Yeah.
Or maybe even $1.25.
I quit when they went to probably around 50 to. I think they may have been going up to 60 cents. They weren't 50 very long, but I remember they were at 40. So it was in the early 80s, and I went to high school in September of '82 is when I went to high school, and I wasn't buying books after that. And I didn't get back until Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider came out with Danny Ketch.
Danny Ketch, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get back in there. I think that Ghost Rider was $1 something. Most of the other books were $1, but the Ghost Rider book was on a different paper, and it was a little more expensive. But the other books were all $1.
I read that recently, the Danny Ketch, because they just did the re-release a couple weeks ago, or like last year or something like that. But I read it and I was like, "This is awesome! I want to read this whole run."
Yeah, I loved Danny Ketch. I was a big Ghost Rider fan when I was a kid, so I loved Johnny Blaze too.
Yeah.
And the fact that Johnny Blaze was in that book too was even better. You know?
Really?
Yeah, it was like I picked it up not knowing that it was Danny Ketch. I just knew that there was a Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I ever went into it was the second time I'd ever went into a comic book store. But that was the first time that made me stay at a comic book store. Yeah. And I'm reading. I go, "Who the hell is this Danny Ketch asshole?" It's I go, "Where's
Johnny?
Yeah,
man?
where's Johnny Blaze?" But by the end, it says, "Oh, this guy's cool." I went and got the second issue or whatever, and then I know it's issue 4 or 5. Johnny Blaze shows up and he goes, "A Ghost Rider. We got to kill this guy." So he originally went to go kill Danny Ketch because he still had a Hellfire gun, even though he wasn't Ghost Rider anymore. Still somehow had a Hellfire gun.
Oh, dude, I need to read this run.
Yeah.
I gotta read this run. I wish they would. Well, I mean, they have like the Epic collection.
Yeah. There could be an Epic collection. I mean, I may even have one of the Epic collection. I mean, I don't know if it's the. If it's the first part.
Yeah,
of it.
but probably the first part or something.
Yeah, but no, that was and it hooked me. That hooked me, and the next thing you know, I'm back to buying Spidey and Hulk and all this other crap, and then here we are today.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
So the first season, people kind of like online were kind of shitting on it, like it was too slow, this or that, whatever. I thought the first like 6 episodes were fantastic. Yeah. Like 7 through 10 kind of like slowed down a little bit, but the first it started off amazing, and all the different cameos from all the different the stars from Next Generation. I loved it.
There he is.
And the first 2 episodes, the first 2 of the second season were awesome.
Yeah.
Picard.
Who got you to watch Picard?
The Connect.
I let him have the.
Well, hey, when Ross speaks, especially when he's wearing the male uniform, you listen because he may just go berserk. So
Wait, I'm waiting for it. And the lead. That's the spot. That's his spot. That's his spot.
This is the shape of Ross right here.
You should definitely put the flag there because the last 2 times I was here, every time I watch in, he's got the spot. That's fantastic.
Now he won't do it.
Yeah, I won't do it now. Yeah,
I'm sorry to call you all like that, bro.
Right, you called him out. We're watching him now.
I'm sorry. No, that's fantastic.
It's like Norm.
Afternoon, everybody.
Hey, what's happening, Norm?
It's a dog-eat-dog world, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear.
It's like cheers.
Exactly.
We used to have a chair.
No.
The phones that come out?
Yeah.
Pokemon Go. Since that.
Oh,
Catching up with
you
Pokemon.
buy and sell?
No, I play on the phone.
You play? Okay. Oh, that's I played for the first few times it came out with my daughter. It was a good time. Then my nephews, they collect, so I'm trying to. I'll get them packs here and there. I think the last time I was here, I bought some packs and stuff. So I gotta buy this. Good lord, man. So I got a Jason Tatum prismatic out of it, but I'm not sure. I don't know if it's worth anything. But
Right now, probably not.
oh my god, that game was trash last night. But I just
They needed Paul Pierce to show up.
Oh yeah, just what they
So
needed.
they went.
Yeah, just what they needed. So someone could choke or just hog the ball to not pass the ball to anyone. Paul Pierce, the truth.
Like I haven't had to sneak anything by my wife, and mistakes were made. I was like tired the other day, and I ended up leaving the bag on the table with the magnet.
Not good.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah.
$60. You don't even pay that much for some bourbon. I'm like, I know.
It's mispriced, honey.
Yeah, it was.
That is
it's
nice
actually
bourbon. That is nice. Well, and you know what it can be used for too? Molotov cocktail when you're all done.
Yeah, I guess it could be.
Yeah, you got any neighbors you're angry with? Just light it and throw it through the window.
No, everyone's cool.
Yeah, the New Hampshire liquor store had them. They actually they didn't advertise it.
Yeah.
So I happened to drop in just to get just to see what they had. My friend had gotten some
He's
Eagle
not
Rare
allowed in New Hampshire.
blends over there.
What did I do in Hampshire?
It's what you didn't do.
This is being filmed right now. I hope you, Anthony. I hope you edit really well. My friend, I hope you edit really well. And so it was 2 per person. So I ended up snagging it because I didn't have anything on hand for myself. So it's a good mixer and stuff. So
Nice.
I ended up walking out with 2. So I'll keep an eye out. The next thing is an Eagle Rare, and then you'll be on your own because then you'll have to just start hunting. So I'll get you a bottle of Eagle too, just because you got to have the 2 of them.
There you go.
together.
You get someone who appreciates your
nice
your
guy.
alcoholism
Oh,
that you have. You know?
How long have you 2 been friends?
Way too long.
Way too long.
Our shtick is a decade plus.
Okay.
Yeah, so been a decade plus, but it's been close to like 25 years.
I need the podcast thing that you had as well. Oh, Walden left me a message. Yes.
For the YouTube?
The YouTube, yeah. I forgot it. I mean,
The Comic Book Palace.
no, it's not. Let me. It was my YouTube app. Hey, why don't you just do a search? Everyone's music. Okay, so
I know. I got some crap on it. I don't
what's
know.
it called?
The Comic Book Palace.
The
Now I
Comic
work in the
Book
back
Palace.
room and
Oh, nice! Look at you guys. That's dope. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, great.
Oh, here we go.
That's great.
That wasn't me. That was Donnie.
That's Donnie.
Donnie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so that's our new this week video. That's our
Okay.
new this week stuff.
Yep.
And then if you go on, you'll see our regular episodes, like what Anthony's taping right now.
Oh, okay.
would be will be on a normal an episode.
Okay.
And then every week we do a new this week for the books that are books that are coming
awesome.
out. Yeah.
That's great. I'm gonna link up and follow it and stuff. And yeah, I literally this is what I missed, and so I appreciate you guys being kind of welcoming as well too. It's I my whole thing was how do I
we'll take all the friends we can get.
yeah, how do I fit in comic book shop and find some place where I can just sit there and talk shop and.
So do you feel that you fit in?
I mean,
Yeah.
Because I just walked in. There was no because I cracked a couple of jokes. Ross took it easy on me in terms of not being offended by calling him out, leaning. I walked in, it felt good. Literally. And the very first time that I came here, you were welcoming. I think I was me and there was a couple of guys in the store, and there was, and yeah, you were just welcoming me, answer the questions, and I just. Watching the banter back and forth, it was easy to kind of slide into a conversation and make a comment, and then nobody's like, "All right, who are you?" Like,
Right.
what
Well, and that's it. We want everyone to feel. I mean, if we're talking and you've got something to say, especially if you're intelligent,
Or if you want to break someone's balls.
right. Yeah, right. Exactly. We're all for it.
yeah.
I mean, it makes me have to break less balls if someone else does it instead.
My only regret is finding this place only a year. That's just terrible. And only found it because Mother Cluckers is my hunting for it. And I probably left a skid mark breaking so hard when I came in. I was like.